Hey guys, Dani here, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. This video is probably going to be a short one because, as you can tell, the lovely children, they diseased me, and I feel like poop, so I want to make this quick. Last week in my video about Spotify, I mentioned how when I was younger, I used to torrent music. So this week, I wanted to go in depth a little bit more about that and explain to you why, even though I am a musician and I also very strongly support musicians getting paid, I also support the practice of torrenting music. Before we jump in, I have to get some legal stuff out of the way because, quite frankly, I can't afford to be sued. So, I am by no means endorsing anything that is illegal whatsoever. Please check your local laws before you do anything. Please don't do things that are illegal. I am not responsible for your illegal activity. I am not telling you to do illegal activity. Cool? Cool. So, what exactly is torrenting? On a basic level, torrenting is essentially peer-to-peer file sharing. And that in and of itself is not illegal. So as an example, if I were to file share the song Happy Birthday with you, Happy Birthday is in the public domain. So you torrenting Happy Birthday from me is not illegal whatsoever. Where it becomes illegal is when people are sharing files that are protected under copyright. So let's say you were torrenting Ed Sheeran's newest album from me or from some website. That is clearly protected under copyright because Ed Sheeran clearly wants to make his money. So that is when the practice of torrenting music becomes illegal. I openly admitted that when I was younger, we're going to say under the age of 12 because statutes of limitations are a thing. So when I was under the age of 12, I used to torrent music. And to this day, I strongly believe that in certain circumstances, torrenting music could actually help artists grow and make more money. As we all should know by now, especially if you watched my video last week, streaming services pay a fraction of a penny per stream. In order to make up more of that cost, musicians tend to sign exclusivity deals to host their music on a specific streaming platform exclusively for a certain amount of time. So if we take a situation like Beyonce and her 6th studio album, Lemonade, she had her album on her exclusive platform owned by both her and her husband called Tidal for exactly 3 years before it was available on any other streaming service. Now, yes, this album was also available in stores for physical sales, but let's be real, how many people are actually buying physical CDs at this point? So essentially, it was only available on Tidal. Now let's think how many people are realistically going to switch their entire streaming platform and have to migrate their entire music library over to Tidal just to get access to Beyonce's new album. Especially because these exclusivity deals are becoming more and more popular. I don't know about you, but I am not taking my whole music library, moving it to Tidal, and then Taylor Swift exclusively puts her album on Apple Music, so then I have to pick up and move everything to Apple Music. And then Ed Sheeran takes his next album and puts it exclusively on Spotify. So I have to pick up and move over to Spotify over and over and over again. It's not going to happen. And especially people who don't have a ton of money, even the price of streaming services is not viable to them. So now imagine there's a person who torrented that Beyonce album and became a diehard fan. Even though they may not have paid what they were supposed to pay for that particular album, now that they are a diehard fan, they are spending a ton of money going to concerts, getting merchandise, doing things that actually make artists a lot more money than record sales. and also is more experientially beneficial to the consumer. Was that torrent now worth it? Let me give you a personal example. I can pretty much almost guarantee you that I torrented either the first song of Taylor Swift's that I heard and or her very first album. Taylor Swift didn't get paid when I did that. But also, it's like been 15 some odd years since I was 7 years old. I have paid for and bought with my own money every single Taylor Swift album in both CD and in vinyl. I have been to every single Taylor Swift concert that has been here in Toronto. I have had countless pieces of merchandise that I have purchased, especially when I was younger. Every calendar that I bought was a Taylor Swift calendar. In my high school locker, there was also a mini Taylor Swift calendar. Every concert that she has put out a DVD for, I own somewhere in a box at this point. So clearly, even though, yes, the first time I listened to Taylor Swift, I did not pay Taylor Swift for listening to her music. I have more than made up for the cost of listening to that one song or that one album in the sheer amount of stuff and concerts and shirts and t-shirts and everything that I have bought and given money to Taylor Swift for over the years. And how likely was it that I would have become such a super fan, especially at a young age, if I didn't have the ability to torrent her music? To me, if someone is already taking the time and energy to torrent your music, that is a good sign. That means that they care. And I believe that torrenting is actually an opportunity for artists to connect to their new audience or a potential new audience that they wouldn't get to connect to otherwise. Whether that is being able to see live concerts from around the world that the consumer would never even have the opportunity to pay for and or weren't even alive for. Or in a modern case, let's take Taylor Swift's last 2 concert tour films that she made. The first one was exclusively on Apple Music. You cannot buy it anywhere. And the second one is on Netflix. Again, you cannot buy it anywhere. So there are tons of people who, quite frankly, are never going to pay for Apple Music, are never going to pay for Netflix. And if they want to own this thing, is it really going to do that much harm for them to own this thing and enjoy this piece of content and feel more connected to the artist? In these situations, these consumers have never been given legal access to this type of content, meaning that the artist has never intended to make money off of these specific pieces of content past their exclusivity deal or past someone buying a concert ticket. So again, where is the harm in other people distributing this thing that adds goodwill in a consumer's mind towards an artist? Just to be clear, me saying this isn't telling everyone to stop paying for their streaming services and to go torrent all of their music. Like I have mentioned before, I do have several issues with music streaming services that I will go in depth on in another video. All that I'm saying is that especially in this current music landscape, where musicians are making less and less off of physically selling their music or even digitally selling their music and making more and more money off of experience, so concerts, t-shirts, all of these other forms of revenue, is it possible that they may actually earn more money in the long run by getting the goodwill of customers, by getting their music for free, and then actually spending money on things that make artists more money directly, like concerts, t-shirt sales, etc. Basically, what I'm saying is that maybe we should reconsider our mindset towards torrenting, and instead of seeing it as stealing money away from artists, think of it more as a potential pathway to earning more of an income from people. Because if we're being 100% honest, there's not going to be a world where people really stop torrenting music. There's always going to be a percentage of the population that is going to torrent music. So probably some smart musician or smart advertiser, basically someone who is smarter than me, could maybe figure out a way that you could actually track these torrents and be able to target these customers, or find a new inventive creative way, whether that be through torrenting or whether that be through just straight downloading, that musicians and artists can start giving more free content to consumers as a pathway to making more money. So, what are your overall thoughts on torrenting? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I make weekly music content. So if that's something you enjoy, please consider subscribing. I will see you guys next week. Bye.